Let's be real, most men are getting it backward. They're out here chasing, begging, proving, pleasing, thinking that's how you win a woman's heart. But the truth is, the moment you put her on a pedestal, you've already lost. Why? Because real power in a relationship comes from knowing your value and never handing it over for free. The truth most men don't want to hear is this: she needs you more than you need her, but only when you carry yourself like a man who doesn't need anyone to complete him. You see, in today's dating world, too many men are operating from a place of desperation. They think they have to do more, say more, give more just to be chosen. But women don't chase men who chase them. Women chase men who are grounded, independent, and detached from validation. The moment you stop trying to impress her and start living for yourself, she feels it. It shifts the entire dynamic. Here's the truth no one tells you. Women want to feel chosen by a man who doesn't need them. They're drawn to power. Not the loud, aggressive kind, but the silent, unbothered confidence that says, "I'm good either way." This video is about reclaiming that power, not by playing games, not by being disrespectful, but by flipping the script. When you stop proving and start leading, everything changes. She becomes more invested, she becomes more attentive, and suddenly, she's the one trying to win you over. Let's break down the 7 truths that will show you exactly how to shift the power back into your hands, where it belongs. Ready? Let's go. 1. She feeds off your energy, not your effort. Most men think effort equals value in relationships. They believe the harder they try, the more a woman will love them. But what if I told you it's not your effort that keeps her attached? It's your energy. It's the way you carry yourself when you walk into a room. It's your calm presence, your unbothered confidence, and the way you don't look to her for approval. That's what keeps her interested. A woman doesn't stay because you sent her good morning texts or took her to expensive dinners. She stays because your masculine energy makes her feel something deeper: security, strength, and direction. Think about it. When you're overly available, always chasing, always asking her what she wants, you become predictable. And the predictable man never holds power in a relationship. He becomes the easy option, the guy she knows will always be there no matter how she acts. That's not attractive. That's not powerful. Women are emotional creatures. And what they truly crave is emotional stimulation. That comes from your presence, not your pursuit. When a man is rooted in himself, when he's not trying to impress, not trying to win her over, his energy becomes magnetic. She starts asking herself, why isn't he trying harder? That curiosity turns into interest. That interest turns into obsession, because now your lack of neediness forces her to step up. She starts feeding off your calm control, and you didn't even have to say much. In today's world, where most guys are trying too hard, the man who doesn't chase stands out. The man who can sit in silence, who can let her come to him, who doesn't flinch when she pulls back, that's the man who has the power. He knows she needs him more because his energy is rare, not desperate, not over-explaining, just solid. When you stop giving all your power away by trying to prove yourself, you'll feel the shift. You'll notice how she leans in more, how she texts more, how she starts trying to impress you. That's not an accident. That's nature. She feeds off your energy, not your effort. If you want to keep your power, stop working overtime to win her. Just be the man who doesn't need to chase to be chosen. That's when everything changes. 2. She respects the man who can walk away. A man's greatest power in any relationship is the ability to walk away and mean it. Not as a threat, not as a game, but as a deep understanding that his value does not depend on her presence. Most men fear walking away because they're scared of losing her. But the truth is, the moment you're afraid to leave is the moment she starts losing respect for you. Why? Because women can sense when you're emotionally dependent. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who makes her his everything. Let's be honest. We've all been there. Caught up in a woman so deeply that we ignore the red flags, overlook the disrespect, and justify behavior we'd never accept from anyone else. And why do we do it? Because we're afraid she might leave. But here's the twist. When you're not afraid to walk away, she becomes the one afraid to lose you. That flips the entire script. She starts checking herself before she disrespects you. She thinks twice before pulling away. Because she knows, this man won't tolerate nonsense. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself more. It means your self-respect is non-negotiable. It means that even if you want her, you won't beg, chase, or compromise your dignity just to keep her around. And that kind of strength, it commands attention. It earns her respect in a way flowers and gifts never will. Modern dating has created a generation of men too afraid to let go. They tolerate being breadcrumbed. They stick around hoping she'll see their worth. But women don't reward weakness. They test for strength. And the ultimate strength is walking away without turning back when you're no longer being treated right. Now, here's the part most men don't realize. When you walk away with your power intact, you don't just walk away from her, you walk into a higher version of yourself. You start focusing on your goals, your growth, your purpose. That energy is attractive. That energy makes her wonder what you're doing without her. And often, she'll come back. Not because you manipulated her, but because your strength awakened her curiosity and desire. But even if she doesn't come back, you've still won. Because you didn't lose yourself trying to keep someone who didn't see your worth. You chose you. And in choosing you, you became the man who can never be truly rejected, because you don't chase validation. You don't fear being alone. And that kind of man? That's the man she respects, desires, and can't stop thinking about. 3. Detachment is power. In relationships, the man who remains emotionally detached holds the upper hand, not because he doesn't care, but because he refuses to let his emotions control him. Detachment isn't about being cold, distant, or indifferent. It's about maintaining emotional discipline. It's the ability to feel something for a woman while still being in control of your own actions, your own time, and your own mind. When you can care without clinging, love without losing yourself, and walk away without falling apart, you've mastered one of the deepest forms of power a man can ever hold. Most men make the mistake of attaching too quickly, a little attention, a few compliments, maybe even sex, and suddenly, she's all they think about. They start adjusting their schedule to please her. They drop their goals, delay their plans, and slowly drift away from the man they were becoming. That's when they lose her. Not because she's ungrateful, but because she senses the shift in energy. She sees the hunger in your eyes, the emotional dependence forming, and that's when her attraction starts to fade. Why? Because women don't want to be your mission. They want to be a part of a man's life who already has a mission. Detachment creates mystery, and mystery creates value. When you're not always available, when you don't always respond immediately, when you don't rearrange your world around her, she starts wondering about you, she starts thinking more. That curiosity makes her invest, that unpredictability makes her chase. And the more she chases, the more emotionally invested she becomes. All because you refuse to hand over your heart too quickly. Being detached doesn't mean playing hard to get. It means staying connected to your sense of self no matter what happens with her. If she pulls away, you don't panic. If she doesn't call back, you don't crumble. If she tests you, you don't overreact. You stay grounded. That calm, composed response to emotional turbulence is what makes you rare. It's what makes her respect you. Any man can get emotional. Any man can chase. But it takes strength to remain unaffected, to stay centered in the storm. When you're detached, she can feel it. And that makes her want your attention more. She wants to unlock you, understand you, feel chosen by you. But when she senses that she has you emotionally wrapped around her finger, she loses interest. The key is balance, care, but don't obsess. Give, but don't overextend. Show love, but never make her your only source of fulfillment. In a world full of men who fold under pressure, the detached man rises. He's not desperate, he's disciplined. He's not reckless, he's relaxed. And because he's not controlled by emotion, he controls the emotional frame of the relationship. That's real power. That's what keeps her chasing. 4. The less you react, the more she invests. In the world of modern relationships, a man's emotional reactions determine the kind of influence he has. A woman is always watching how you respond, when she's distant, when she's moody, when she tests you or even tries to provoke you. And most guys fall into the same trap. They react too quickly, too emotionally, and too often. They argue when she gets cold. They chase when she pulls away. They try to fix every little issue with a wall of words. But here's the truth. The less you react, the more she invests. Because your silence, your stillness, your calm presence, it speaks volumes. When you stop reacting to everything she says and does, she's forced to confront her own emotions. If she pulls away and you stay calm, she starts questioning herself. Why didn't he chase? Why didn't he react? That quietness makes her think. It flips the power dynamic. You see, women test men emotionally to find out what kind of man they're really dealing with. She wants to know if she can shake your center. She wants to know if she can control your emotional state. And if you let her control how you feel, how you speak, how you act, she knows she's got you. But the man who doesn't react? He's different. He's mysterious. He's powerful. He doesn't get angry over small things. He doesn't get needy when she goes cold. He doesn't throw away his masculinity just because things aren't going perfectly. That's the man she can't forget. That's the man she keeps coming back to. Because his lack of emotional reaction isn't weakness. It's discipline. It's the signal that says, I'm in control of me, and nothing you do will change that. When she realizes she can't get under your skin, that her little games don't work, that you don't need her validation to feel secure, that's when she starts to respect you. That's when she begins to step up her game. She calls more. She initiates more. She starts showing more affection. All because she senses you're not emotionally dependent on her. That kind of energy is rare, and it's addictive. Most men lose power because they're too eager to fix things. They think reacting fast shows that they care. But women don't fall for explanations. They fall for strength. And the strongest thing a man can do in moments of emotional chaos is remain composed. Your calmness is your control. Your silence is your strength. It tells her you are grounded, unshaken, and not moved by temporary emotions. Remember this, your emotions are your leverage. The moment you give that away, she knows she can play you. But when you hold that frame, when you choose silence over reaction, composure over chaos, she leans in harder. Not because you chased, but because you didn't. That's real masculine power.